Hello, Black Girl. I am your purpose coach, Bailey Orenia, and once again, I am here to help you breathe through exhaustion, restore your purpose, and thrive in the spaces God has called you to be. So today, I want to talk to you about love. Most importantly, self-love. And I know some of you are thinking, well, Bailey, why are we talking about love? You were the purpose coach. Well, I want you to know love is one of the main things, or the main thing, that you will need in order to walk in a purposeful life. So you want to find out why? Stay tuned. It's time to thrive in the spaces God has called you to be. So let's talk about love. More importantly, let's talk about self-love. So I know a lot of you are saying, Bailey, what does self-love have to do with my purpose? Well, God talks about love so many times in the Bible. The greatest commandment is loving God with all your mind, heart, soul, and strength. The second greatest commandment says to love your neighbor as you do yourself. Now, I'm going to pause there for a second. Love your neighbor as you do yourself. So God's not telling you to love your neighbor more than yourself. It's not telling you to love your kids more than yourself, love your husband more than yourself. It says love your neighbor as you do yourself. So the first thing that we need to do is love God. He'll show us how to love ourselves, which will allow us then to love others accordingly. What happens is we feel like sacrificing ourselves for other people, that's love, and it's not. We think that we should wear that with a badge of honor, and we should not. So how does that align with our purpose? The purpose being is you need to learn first how to follow God's word and in the order that God gives you. Because if you're not able to do that, it's going to be quite challenging to walk in your purpose and do the things that God has called you to do. So when you look at self-love, think about when you're on an airplane. The first thing they do is they tell you to put your mask on first before you help someone else. Because if you're not staying conscious and if you're not staying aware of where you are, who you are, what you need to do and what you're called to do, there's no way that you can guide someone else to do the things that they need to do and to keep them and help sustain them. So that's where self-love comes into play. It's not rocket science. It's not something deep. I don't need to go into this deep dive. But knowing who you are and knowing what you're called to do and loving yourself in that process is so gratifying and is so necessary. So one of the things I also want to talk to you about is the fruit of the Spirit. The first fruit of the Spirit says what? Love. Love. But again, we have to love ourselves in order to love other people. We shouldn't, and I'm going to be honest with you. To be honest with you, loving yourself first will help you choose the right person. Will help you choose the person that you're supposed to marry. Why? Because in some of my last conversations with you, we talked about boundaries. So if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, how can you possibly set healthy boundaries? If you don't set healthy boundaries, how can you, and trust me, I know, how can you choose the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with? Because all of these things help you align with your purpose. So, Black girl, I want you to take a moment today. I want you to pause and reflect and ask yourself, how am I loving myself today? How have I loved myself in the past? And how will I love myself in the future? Sometimes society and sometimes even Christians want us to think that loving ourselves is a bad thing. It's a selfish thing. It's putting ourselves in the center. But again, how can you put yourself in the center? How can it be about you when you're first loving God and when you're first honoring God's word? So, Black girl, I pray that you take the moment to pause, that you take the moment to reflect, and that you love yourself first outside of God. You love yourself first. Most importantly, that you do love others, and that you maintain a posture of self-love, self-respect, and healthy boundaries. And as always, remember, when someone asks you to do something that doesn't serve you well, just tell them that is not my ministry. I love you.